Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you.
How far you say you? About 5 minutes.
I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you. To show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Vigi. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, and working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be turching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eatin'. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the sweet. They all do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we tanks. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coast shit. As if they make the wrong move and coast shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that road shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on by the boat shit. They see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army. Going up like a rocket, can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coast shit. As if they make the wrong move and coast shit. Hey! One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my new
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin'. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we something authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Know it's arc, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coast shit. As if they make the wrong move and coast shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up on by the boat shit.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to profit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. Oh, he cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the profits, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole. Because of the COVID, it feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Know there's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, see the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass need the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and boy, your ass need to stop it, ass need the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, young, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, I don't step, I'm solid for show. For the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pants through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
ISUPK presents Ask Ye the Prophets weekly podcast.
Every race in the movie.
We are not to trust. We are not to trust the oppressor, and we are not to trust the other.
Send in your questions to AskYeTheProphets@gmail.com or Ask Ye the Prophets on Facebook. And your questions will be answered live every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shalom.
He's speaking of his own. The white man made himself be the Egyptians and the Israelites. And the Persians. Every race in the movie.
Yeah. Clap it up. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatham. Yahweh Shema Thum Bashim Yahshua. Preaching episode 1000. Yadai. I'm holding it down this week for 12 show General Mayaka Allah. I got my main man, Officer 50 Ibahaya. Got me to my right. Now, this is Ask Ye the Prophets. Welcome to Ask Ye the Prophets. Make sure y'all send y'all questions in to AskYeTheProphets@gmail.com. You know what I mean? For General Mayaka to be able to break down whatever question it may be. If you had a dream or if you have a scripture, you need a scripture breakdown, no matter what it is. Today we're going to go over a couple things. We're going to go over nearly 1,000 Afghanistani refugees coming into Philadelphia. We're going to touch on Del Curry. We're going to touch on Boosie. And I got some questions that was asked to me last night I bought on Clubhouse. For those that don't know, Clubhouse is an excellent social media tool. You know what I mean, for all the brothers, you know what I mean, who are captains and officers, you know what I mean, to get on there, you know what I mean, and fish. Got some questions from there. But first, let's go into, I'm going to touch on Boosie. Now, a lot of everybody understand what's going on with Boosie Badass, right? Boosie was on the Breakfast Club, you know what I mean, defending, you know what I mean, his remarks about Lil Nas X. If I can surmise it for you real quick, Lil Boosie went on the Breakfast Club defending his remarks, saying, you know what I mean, and he was going to take care of Lil Nas X, you know, beat him up if Lil Nas X was to go on stage and perform naked in front of children. And everybody was up in arms about that. They was like, well, Boosie, you're homophobic. This is toxic masculinity. But let me ask y'all a question, especially with like the you know what I mean, of the polite situation and what's going on with him. What's wrong about a black man defending other black and Hispanic and First Nation children? Right. We have to understand that we are under attack right now, that if you are a heterosexual man or woman, especially if you black, Hispanic, or First Nation, we are taboo. You taboo because they want us to be homosexual. Now, if I could, you just read the title.
Go. Boosie Badass doubles down on his homophobic Lil Nas X comments.
Now, understand this. Don't get me wrong. Boosie not in the truth. but at least the brother is willing to stand up, you know what I mean, against the oppressor, against the machine that is pushing homosexuality all across the sun. It's like everywhere we turn, it don't matter if you watching something on Netflix or Hulu, don't matter if you're trying to watch a music video, it's always something with them pushing homosexuality. And Lil Nas X, they using that poor brother, you know what I mean, to be an instrument for that. And what our people don't understand is that homosexuality is an abomination to the Most High. Right. Like Charlemagne was on there talking about, well, you know, Boosie, you know, you rap about, you know, certain things, you know what I mean, about women and other forms of sexuality. Don't get me wrong. We ain't supposed to be doing that neither. Hypersexualizing, you know what I mean, our women and using them as objects is just as wrong. The scriptures say, we're going to go into it in Deuteronomy 23:17, there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel and no sodomites of the sons of Israel. So guess what? He has a part to play in that as well. But you have to understand the fact that they using our brothers and sisters for that. The fact that you had Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion who came out with a horrible song, a terrible song, WAP. And the sad thing is that song is being pushed out to all of our young girls and all of our young brothers, man. Using Meg, using Cardi B. And it's the heavy thing with Cardi B. When Cardi B was in the crib on her Instagram live, WAP came on and her daughter came into the room. And her daughter is no more than maybe 4 years old. Like, wow, she cut that song off. So you mean to tell me it's all right for songs like WAP and, you know, and Call Me By Your Name with Lil Nas X, it's all right for those songs to be played to our children, but you try to shield them from yours? No. Homosexuality in any form of that and being a sexual deviant is wrong on all levels. Black man, First Nation man, Hispanic man and woman. If I could, give me Leviticus 20 and 13. And the sad thing is, too, it ain't just that. And the other tail of the conversation was that shifted. You know, Charlemagne and DJ Envy, they were telling Boosie, well, your comments on Dwayne Wade and Zion Wade, I'm not calling him, you know what I mean, whatever little girl name he has now, because he's still a young man in the eyes of the Most High. It which goes to show you just how foul it is. We live in a society right now where it is all right for young men to want to become women and for young women to want to become men. Look at Young M.A. Look at Dwayne Wade's son Zion, man. Look at how they pushing this throughout the forefront. And listen, and the sad thing is, I know y'all saw the video of Dwayne Wade. Let me see if I can find it. Where Dwayne Wade said that he himself, when he was a young boy, that he used to put on his mom's shoes and stilettos and everything, and his sisters and everybody would laugh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's just playing. And so when Wade saw his son doing that, he ain't think nothing of it. Meanwhile, the other brothers that was doing the interview with him was looking at him sideways like, nah. Anytime one of my little nephews, I buy how y'all want to put on their mom or one of my sister's stuff, I toss him my boots or toss him my sneakers and say, hey, put that on. Right. Because listen to what we have to understand, man. It starts with a young age. And the sad thing is, how in the hell, and y'all out there got children, how the hell you mean to tell me that your little 3-year-old son could come to you and say, well, you know, mom, I feel as though I'm a girl. If I tell my nephew today, you know what I mean, that I'm a dragon, I'm Godzilla, he's going to believe me. Right. He's going to believe me because his mind ain't fully developed. And that's why they start, you know what I mean, with our brothers and sisters as babies. You see how they pushing it, you know what I mean, throughout the TV. And you know what that's going to do? They're going to look at Dwayne Wade's son, other young boys, and be like, well, you know what? His son did it. Wade's son did it. Maybe I'm a girl. Maybe I feel like I'm a girl. Or you're a young girl, like, oh, maybe I feel as though I'm a boy, when the real key, you know what I mean, to those situations and what they encouraging is molestation. And big shout out, the captain of 13,000 Tazariak, who's been on the forefront, you know what I mean, fighting and standing against homosexuality and child molestation in our communities, because don't nobody else want to stand up and say something about it. Because for some reason in Black and Hispanic communities, we sweep that under the rug. I remember when Chris Rock came out and said, well, you know, in our families, we blame the children. You know what I mean? If the child gets touched by Uncle Johnny, who you know is a pedophile, you'll blame the child. No, it's about time we take accountability, man, and get these child molesters and get these pedophiles and get them, you know what I mean, the hell up out of our community, man. If I could, let me get Leviticus 20 and 13.
Come. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 13. Mm-hmm. If a man also lied with mankind. If a man also lied down with mankind. Lil Nas X is telling you what he's all about.
Dwayne Wade is telling you what he's all about, and so is his son Zion, telling you what he's all about. They want to lay down with men, but the Lord is saying this: if a man lie down with mankind, read on.
As he lieth with a woman.
As he lieth with a woman, meaning you laying down with a woman, the way you would lay down with a woman, you want to lay down with a man. Or if you a woman, the way you lay down with a man, you want to lay down with another woman. Read on.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
Both of them have committed an abomination. I was in a clubhouse room the other day, and sisters were saying, well, there's nothing wrong with homosexuality. Love is love. And here's the sad thing. Our people don't even know what the hell love is. According to God, love is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That is what real love is, man.
Right.
And loving the Most High, you wouldn't be a homosexual. And you wouldn't push that garbage and that nonsense to our people, man. Understand this. Homosexuality is a heathen custom. Homosexuality comes natural to the Africans because homosexuality ran rampant all throughout Egypt. Right. Homosexuality ran all rampant throughout Egypt, Rome, and Greece. That's a heathen custom. Let Becky and Susan and Bob and Tim and Futu Ngala and the Black Panther, let them be gay. Let them be homosexuals. We have a higher sense of morality and a higher moral standard, Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. It goes against our nature to be these things.
Right.
It goes against our very nature. It is an abomination unto the Most High. And the sad thing is people came up against Boosie for that. Against him for that. Like, it's all right for Lil Nas X to say, well, I want to perform naked in front of children. If y'all lost y'all goddamn mind, it is wrong, for a young brother to want to perform naked in front of children, and want to perform naked in front of anybody, period. Don't nobody want to see that. And it's the same thing for you sisters, man. Don't get it wrong. Don't nobody want to see Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion twerking on each other half naked. Don't nobody want to see that. That is homosexuality and lesbianism, man. And that's an abomination to the Most High, man. And for those of you that like that sort of thing, you are sick, evil bastards, man. Sexual deviants, and you need to get help. You need to change your lifestyle, man. Now read on.
They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely be put to what?
Death.
Surely be put to death, meaning the penalty for homosexuality is death. And how do you know the penalty for homosexuality is death? What's that disease that they all die from, that runs rampant through them? What's that disease? Go ahead.
HIV and AIDS.
HIV and AIDS, man. HIV and AIDS. That's what they get. That is what they get. See, a lot of y'all think, oh, it ain't that bad. You look at Magic Johnson, looking like the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, smiling from ear to ear, that it's all right to have AIDS. No, the hell it is not. No, it is not. Black man, Hispanic man, and woman, you are not going to smile your way through AIDS. I pray you understand. That is a horrible way to go out. And that is what the blood being on your head means, man. You think it's all right to just run around and be a homosexual, that it's all right to be a lesbian. No, the Lord got something coming for you. And for those of you that are of the Christian belief, I know what you're saying in your poor little Christian hearts and minds. Well, you die, it's all right. God says, come as you are. Love is love. In the New Testament, Christ did. Let me tell you something, Christians, which y'all don't understand. The Lord said in the book of Malachi, that I change not. God did not change at all. If I could, give me Romans 1 and verse 25. Following after the oppressor is going to be the downfall of all of our people, because you don't look at it, and it should disgust you. It really should. You should be reviled by seeing homosexuality. I know I am. Everywhere we go, and no matter what city you in, if you walking down a shopping strip, you see it all the time. I was on 69th the other day, walking past the Old Navy, and here you go. You got an oppressor man and a black man, a Hispanic child on the ad pushing homosexuality, saying that it's all right. You see the billboards and the posters with the two women and the children. That's an abomination to the Lord, man. Right. It is. And what we don't understand, that's why the scriptures say that this place is spiritually Egypt and Sodom. Why is it spiritually Egypt and Sodom? What ran rampant through Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Homosexuality. Those of you in the conscious community love to sweep that under the rug when Egypt was the first, metropolis, LGBTQP. The P is for pedophilia, city that they had and civilizations. They try to sweep that under the rug and say, well, look at Ra, look at what's the other one? Look at Akhenaten. But you don't want to look at Geb. You don't want to look at Horus and Set. You don't want to look at the history, that is rampant and that shows you that homosexuality is wrong. And let me show you, according to the so-called New Testament for you Christians out there, that homosexuality is still wrong. Boosie was not wrong for standing up, against the machine saying, the Lil Nas X is wrong. And understand this, man, you're going to be looked at like you crazy. That's what the priests and prophets in the Israelite school of UPK is for. They're like, well, look at them crazy niggas on the corner. Them crazy niggas on the corner are right. And we trying to wake our people up, man. One day you're going to look for us on the corner and realize, where them crazy brothers at? Where them crazy niggas at? They was right the whole time when this place burns to the ground, man. That's the sad thing. That's the sad thing about our people is that we are slow, slow, in fact, when it comes to these things, when it's right here in front of us. Give me Romans 1:25, Bubba Kushaw.
Kawakah. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, and verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who told you that homosexuality was an alternative way of living? Who told you that? Who told you that? It was the oppressor. They're the ones that are telling us, that Boosie is wrong. They're the ones telling us that it's all right, that we shouldn't be homophobic. Let me explain something about phobia. Phobia means fear. You have a fear of something. We don't fear homosexuals.
Right.
We don't fear homosexuality. That's not the thing. And that's what they don't understand. And they try to use that, as a defense mechanism and as a weapon, saying, well, you're homophobic. You can't, you're just afraid. This is the new wave. No. Ain't nobody afraid of y'all. Ain't nobody worried about you. Now, the sad thing is, what you don't understand is you continuing to walk down that lifestyle, that is going to cause your death. The scriptures say there's a way to feel a right into a man, but those are the ways of death. Being a homosexual may feel good to you. It may feel right to be a lesbian, but those ways are going to lead you to death. I pray you understand. Read on.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Now, who's the creature? You're serving the oppressor. The oppressor is telling Charlemagne and telling DJ Envy, to go out there, and defend Lil Nas X. Go out there and defend homosexuals, man. You worshiping and serving the creature more than the creator, because the Most High said that homosexuality was an abomination. The Most High is the one that said that. Don't take it up with me. I ain't say that. The Lord said that. Read on.
Who is blessed forever. Amen.
Read on.
Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
He said, for this cause he gave them up unto vile affections, man. We've been given up to vile affections. What is something that's vile? Something that's disgusting. Something that's revolting. Lil Nas X prancing up and down, up on Hollywood Boulevard, up there in the music industry, coming out with, with just demonic videos, man. That one video, calling you by my name, I couldn't even finish the video. The car was trying to show a priest. I said, man, cut this off. I cannot watch this. And then his new video, Good Night. I'm trying to tell you. And to give you like a little bit of the article too, Boosie said, and I quote, he said, it feels like straight people are being persecuted. And that's the thing. We are being persecuted. If you are a heterosexual, Black, Hispanic, or First Nation man or woman, we are being persecuted. You taboo here in this country. You against homosexuality, you are the enemy of state. We are already the enemy because we're God's chosen people. But if we're not hopping on the program, if the oppressor is pushing onto our people, you are going to be ostracized for it. You're going to get crucified for it, man. We are definitely being persecuted. Well, guess what? The Lord has something in store for those, man, that continue in this lifestyle. Now the Lord said what? Read it again.
Okay. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
You want to be a homosexual, God is going to give you up until vile affections, man. Read on.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Even the women did change the use of that which is against nature. Even the sisters. Now you want to be Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. Now you want to be a lesbian, man. Pushing that garbage, you know what I mean, to our sisters is wrong. The fact is, and the sad thing is, the Christian church condones all of this. Because what does Meg and Cardi have in common? They're both Christian.
Right.
What do they have in common with Lil Nas X? They're Christians. And it's sad when this is the lifestyle that they're pushing, you know what I mean, to our women. It's time for the Black, Hispanic, and First Nation woman to love that Black, Hispanic, and First Nation man again. Now it's time for the Black man and Hispanic man and First Nation man to love our women again. Read on.
Verse 27. And likewise also the men.
And guess what? Not just the women. Likewise also the men. Now you got Dwayne Wade saying, well, you know, it's all right. You know, I did it when I was a child. And when you see him and Gabrielle Union, listen, sometimes I wonder who is the man and who's the woman in their relationship. Dwayne Wade be out here dressed in the most designer dresses, while Gabrielle Union be looking just as masculine as can be. And just to show you just how wicked their situation is, what a lot of people don't understand, Gabrielle Union is not that child's mother. A lot of our people don't know that. Gabrielle Union, you know what I mean, has one daughter with Dwayne Wade via surrogate. But guess what? Zion Wade, that's not her son. And she took him, you know what I mean, to a pride parade when he was 11 years old. And a lot of you don't understand just how evil and wicked those pride parades really are, man. They be out there doing all types of wicked and homosexual acts out there, prancing around and having their parades through that rainbow, man. She was wrong for that. Wrong for that. And so was Dwayne Wade, exposing their son, you know what I mean, to that. And the actual mother, you know what I mean, of Zion Wade, she is against, you know what I mean, her son being, you know what I mean, a girl. She came out there and said, you know what I mean, last year, you know what I mean, that he will always be my son, that I don't accept it. And I applaud her for that, man. And you shouldn't. Because the Most High, you know what I mean, the Most High wanted you to have a daughter. You'd have had a daughter, but you had a son. Who the hell are we to say, well, you know what? I don't feel as though I'm a man, right. I feel as though I'm a woman. I would look crazy. Israel, I would look crazy as hell, right? If I go out here to camp on 15th and JFK this up and coming Friday, and I put on a chicken suit and start clucking, you know what I mean, up and down the street, they're gonna be like, yo, man, like, yo, what's going on? Get that, this nigga tripping out here. This nigga think he a chicken. It's the same thing, man. Right. It is the same thing. You're not supposed to be a homosexual. Now, guess what? I'm not actually going to go out there and put on that chicken suit and cluck. Don't get me wrong, Israel. Just using that as an analogy goes to show you, man, the Most High does not make mistakes. Like I had a sister tell me, well, I feel as though I was a boy from the beginning because, you know, my mother would tell me all the time, you know what I mean, that I was supposed to be a boy. I was supposed to be a boy. No. You're a young girl, you're a woman because the Lord wanted you to be a woman.
Right.
Period. Now, likewise, also the men. Now you got strong brothers out here, man, wanting to be homosexuals. Now you want to be women. And let me tell you, sisters, something about that. What a lot of you sisters don't understand about your homosexual male friends that you love to hang around and be like, oh, man, he's just so fun. He's just so cute. He hates you.
Right.
Homosexual men hate women. They hate women, and you don't even understand it. They hate you with everything in their mind, man, because they want to be you. It's the same thing with homosexual women. Why do I know I can't use the term, my Bob, but I'm gonna say is, why is it that every homosexual sister that I meet looks like Beanie Siegel or Jada Kiss, you know what I mean? Shaped like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, you know what I mean, with the New York fitted, you know what I mean? And it's a lie. Why y'all all gotta look like that? Why you all gotta be like that? Like, yo, bro, what's going on, my nigga? What's up? What's up, cuz? And here's the crazy thing about that. They still like Rod too, I buy. Don't get it fooled. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Same thing with your same with them homosexual men. They have sex with women too, and then you wondering why AIDS is running rampant, man. Do not let don't let these lesbian sisters fool you, man. It's a lesbian sister right now, looking like Young Ma, looking like Beanie Siegel and Michelangelo. Somewhere right now, she is like, pull my boxers down, homie. Don't get it twisted. They still like Rod. That's why they go to the sex store and get them plastic rods, man. Understand this. You don't have to do that. This is not the lifestyle that the Lord chose for us. That's why the Lord is reiterating it right here. Read it again. Likewise, also the men.
And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman.
Leaving the natural use of the woman. Now you leaving that sister, man. Now you leaving that woman because you want to go get another man, man. And not understanding, man, that is a wicked thing to do. It is wicked to be a homosexual. It is wicked to be a lesbian. And let me tell you how homosexuals, you know what I mean, make other homosexuals and make other lesbians. They molest children.
Right.
They molest children. Don't get it twisted, man. 95% of them homosexuals, they was touched by their aunt or their uncle. They was touched by a mother or father or touched by somebody older, man. And that is an evil thing to do, man. You destroy the child's morality. It's like killing them, man. It's like killing them. And you're not supposed to do that. We ain't supposed to do that, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation, man and woman.
Right.
Leaving the natural use of the woman. Read on.
Burn in their lust, one toward another.
Now you're burned in your lust, one towards another. Now you looking at that other dude like, man, I like you, bro. Like after this cookout, let's go hang out. Let's go play Madden. Let's go do that. I can't even think about it like that. That's how evil and wicked it is. Let me explain something to you, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. The Lord made man for woman and woman for the man. You want to be a homosexual, you want to be a lesbian, you want to be a sexual deviant, period. Guess what? That is going to continue to be the downfall of our people. Now, if I could, let me get Deuteronomy 23 and verse 17. This is what the Lord told us. For those of you that look up to people like Lil Nas X, that look up to Cardi B, that look up to Meg Thee Stallion, that look up to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, understand this right here. Read what you got.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Meaning you're not supposed to be a whore. What Meg and Cardi was doing, man, is wrong. Is wrong. And you sisters out there that think it's cute, that think it's all right to be a whore and to touch on it, you know what I mean? You know, OnlyFans said that they wasn't going to ban, you know what I mean, sexual content now. Now everybody can breathe again, that it's all right. Hallelujah. Understand this. You're not supposed to be a whore if you are a First Nation woman, a black woman, or a Hispanic woman. You ain't supposed to be no goddamn whore. Let the white woman be a whore.
Right.
Let the Asian woman, let the African woman, let these heathen women be whores.
Right.
That's in their nature to be sodomites, man, to be whores and whoremongers. Read on.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You ain't supposed to be like Lil Nas X. You ain't supposed to be like, you know what I mean, Dwayne Wade. You ain't supposed to be like, you know, RuPaul and the black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. God chose us to be a special people, a holy people, meaning separate, set apart from these heathen. That's why the Lord severed us from them, man. The Lord told us to learn not the way of the heathen. Being a homosexual, being a whoremonger, being a whore, that is the way of the heathen. Pray you understand. Now, let's go on to like the next story I buy. Let's go on to the next one. This one ain't that long. This one right here caught my eye, man, because, you know, I watch basketball. I want you to read the title for me, Bubba, for sure.
Okay. Dell and Sonya Curry's divorce is getting messy with cheating allegations flying.
Now, Del Curry, a lot of y'all that don't understand, Del Curry played basketball for the Toronto Raptors, played during the 90s. He's the father of NBA superstar Steph Curry. Now, Del Curry and his wife Sonya Curry are getting a divorce. And now they both accusing each other of cheating and messing around. Now, let me pull up the article real quick. Let me to get, the stance on it, to talk about it. Understand this. What we have to understand. And this is why I thank the Most High for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Because of the ISUPK, these UPK marriages last forever.
Right.
They last forever, as they should. Now, Del Curry is saying, that Sonya Curry went out there and, and committed adultery, with some NFL, but I forget the devil's name. Went out there and had, committed fornication with this devil. And Sonya Curry is saying that Del Curry was out there sleeping with different women. Now, let me clear it up for you, for those of you out there. Brother, you cannot go out here and have sex with different women and throw them away. Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man, understand this. According to the Bible, according to God, we can have multiple wives. You can have multiple wives. But understand this, sex is marriage. When you lay down with that woman, that is marriage according to God. Now, if you are a sister, right, and you go out there and you sleep with another man that's not your husband, that's fornication. That's adultery. If Sonya Curry did go out there and cheat on Del with that oppressor, with a different man, she committed adultery. And you're not supposed to do that. The sad thing is our people don't understand the significance, of having sex with one another and understanding that is marriage. If I could, let me get Exodus 22 and verse 16. And then I want you to get me Matthew the 19th chapter, Bubba, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid.
Now, if a man entice a maid, what does that mean? Entice a maid. To break down, sex is marriage. If you go out there and entice a maid, meaning you go out there and spit game to it. A lot of brothers in Israel got all the game in the world, man, especially if you Black, Hispanic, or First Nation. If you go out there and you entice a maid, meaning you go spit game to her, read on.
That is not betrothed.
That is not what?
Betrothed.
That is not betrothed, meaning she ain't promised to nobody. She ain't dealing with nobody. She ain't promised to nobody. Read on.
And lie with her.
And lie with her, meaning have sex with her. Read on.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife, meaning that's now your wife if you lay down with her. What we have to understand is that when you lie down with that sister, brother, guess what? That is now your wife. That's now your wife. Sister, when you lay down with that man, that is now your husband. The problem is we out here having reckless sex with everybody. I was rapping with a young brother the other day, and he was telling me, what you mean, you dying? Sex ain't marriage. And you know why he told me that? Because he wants to continue to go out here and have irresponsible sex with any woman he can find and put them away. You cannot do that.
Right.
You cannot do that. The scriptures say if you go out there and you have sex with a woman, and put her away, and then go marry another, that's fornication.
Right.
You causing her to commit adultery.
Right.
You can't do that. And sis, you can't go out there, and because you upset with your husband, because, you not happy, because that's the main thing. You're not happy in the relationship no more. You feel as though after the honeymoon phase, I got to go be happy again. And you go lay with a different man. Guess what? That's adultery as well. Right. Because if you lay down with that man, sis, that is till death do you part. And brother, when you lay down with that woman, that is till death do you part. Right. I had a sister tell us our story. She was telling Officer Barzal Rakar, an officer in the car, and myself, her story. She was telling me that she's in love with this brother. Her ex. She's in love with him. But she said their relationship changed Why did their relationship change? She told us that her relationship changed because she went out, you know what I mean, and had sex with another man. And she felt as though, well, he had 2 other women, you know what I mean? And here's the thing, she said that he told her, right, Bob, which is rare, that he had 2 other women. And she was like, all right, and she was with it. But then one day she said she felt weak and went on and slept with a different man and told him, and she said he was okay at first, but she said now, and this is the word she used, like, she was like, well, Yedaya, now he's being weird to me. Now he's being weird to me because I told him, you know what I mean? And he said he was okay. Says he was not okay with that. No man, let me reiterate this for a minute. No straight man. If you tell me, right, if you my lady, you my rib, you my Eve, you tell me that you go out there and have sex with another, you out there and have sex with another man, we done. It's over. Right. Because it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? You got a lot of brothers that are so weak that want to just make it work, that want to just try to do better. And then you wonder why he being weird to you, you know what I mean? She said that she went over there to hang out with the brother, you know what I mean? And he was like, I love you, I want to make this work. But she said after he ain't woke up, he kicked her out. He was upset and she was trying to figure it out. And I said, damn, maybe it's because he was thinking about you laying with that other man. And to give you a prime example of that, we all remember Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, right? We all remember that, right? I know you remember, right, Bob? When Jada Pinkett said that she had an entanglement with August. And Will Smith looked so broken. He looked so hurt through that interview that it was sad. Like, he hates her. He hates Jada Pinkett, man. Goes to show you, man, that when you go out there, sister, and have sex with a different man, you expect, you know what I mean, your husband to be okay with it. He's not. He's not. The damage is already done. The relationship is over. Like I advised the sister, I told the sister, you got to move on. You have to move on because you did move on. You went on and had sex with a different man. And if you a brother out there, right, and if your rib told you that she went out there and had sex with a different man, guess what? You have to let her go because it will destroy you. It will destroy you. And the sad thing is, and to bring it back home with the Del Curry thing, I feel for Del Curry. You know what I mean? In this retrospect. You know what I mean? Like your rib, you know what I mean? Of 33 years. It says they was together for 33 years. Like, Bob, that's a long time. Right. That is a long time. And to find out, you know what I mean, that your wife had sex with a different man, that hurts. That hurts. And it's rough, you know what I mean? On the kids, Steph Curry saying he taking his mother's side. The other kids is like, well, I don't know. Here's the thing. Del Curry, if you was out there being a whoremonger, you shouldn't have been a whoremonger. The scriptures say you can have multiple wives, but you can't have sex with these women and throw them away. And as for Sonia, you was dead wrong for having sex with a man that wasn't Del Curry, man, because the scriptures say, you know what I mean? If you go out there and have sex with a man that's not your husband, that's fornication, that's adultery. And let's get that with Christ. Give me Matthew, you know what I want, Matthew the 19th chapter. Matthew the 19th chapter. And I want you to start at verse 1. Because here's the thing too, man, like with our people, and it's bigger than Del Curry and Sonia Curry. It's a lot bigger than that. And I thank the Most High for Commander General Yohanan, the Israelite School, UPK, the generals, the captains, and the officers, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, our brothers and sisters don't understand in the world, you know what I mean, how marriage works. We don't. You want to go, you get married, you know what I mean? You have sex with a sister, brother, you land with her from time to time, and next thing you know, you're throwing her away. And sis, you know what I mean? You feel as though the romance is gone. You want to go out and recreate it with somebody else. You're not supposed to do that. Right. Now, give me a Matthew, the 19th chapter, Bubba, for sure.
This is the book of Matthew, the 19th, verse 1. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coast of Judea, beyond Jordan. Verse 2. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. Verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him.
Now, the Pharisees also came unto him. Now, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they are your modern day Christian pastors now. They are your imams now. And they are a big part of the problem. You got pastors giving counsel right now saying, well, you know, if you're not happy, you can leave. You can move on. Don't go and make things work with that woman, brother. Sis, you got to think about yourself and your happiness. You got to think about your well-being, man. Now, the Pharisees came unto Christ. And when they would roll up on the Christ, they'd be like, man, how can I get Yahushua now? How can I catch Yahushua Mashiach slipping? Let's see what they about to ask him.
Tempting him.
Tempting him. I mean, they would come and tempt our king all the time because they hated our king. And to tell you how they the Christian pastors now, that they're your imams, they hate Christ today.
Right.
They hate Christ. They all talking about, well, I love Jesus. I love Christ. You the same ones that hated him back during the time when he walked the earth. Stop front.
Right.
Stop front. Read on.
And saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Read that again slow.
Come. Is it lawful?
Is it lawful? Read on.
For a man to put away his wife for every cause?
They came up and said, yo, Yahushua, is it lawful for me to put away my wife for every cause? Now let's take their notion, right? So let's say that's all right. Let's say, brother, you wake up one morning, you say, hold up, I don't smell no grits. I don't smell no beef bacon. I don't smell no waffles. Hey, yo, your diet, can I put away my wife? You know, she had the nerve to not cook breakfast this morning. I don't care how tired she is. Can I put her away? No, you cannot. Not for every cause. Look at how they worded it. Look how they came up against our king, asking for every cause. Because they was doing that. And they do it today. You put away sisters for every cause. Some of you brothers, because the wind blow in the wrong direction, you go and put her away, and then you go get another woman. We're going to talk about that further down in the scriptures. And it's the same thing with sisters. You go in there and you put brothers away because you're not happy. Right. Because you feel as though that, I can't stress this enough, because you feel as though, you know what I mean, that you could do better, that you made a mistake. This is why we have the 1 year rule in the ISUPK. You have to take the time to get to know a brother and sister, man. Right. You have to take that time. Even in the world, when I was in the world, I can only speak for myself. I was always taught to walk 4 seasons with a sister. And that's why I come into the truth, and you know what I mean, and having the 1 year rule, that ain't bother me, because here's the thing. If I meet you in the summertime, sis, you could be a completely different person come the wintertime. Or I could be, you know, a completely different person come the springtime. Maybe. If we take that year to learn and talk and, you know, build with one another and get to know one another, maybe this could work. But now you rush into things, right? For every small thing, you want to put him away. You got sisters out there putting brothers away because they ain't take the trash out of that. Because the brother ain't take the trash out. You got brothers putting women away, you know what I mean, for the smallest thing. For the smallest thing. And Christ is about to check them on this, man. Said, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Read on.
Okay, verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Christ starting to cut them. He said, have you not read in the beginning he had made them male and female? Now Christ about to take it back to Adam. Christ about to take it back, because here's another thing too, side note, for all, you know what I mean, of those out there to say, well, Christ came and taught something new. No, all Christ did was quote from the so-called Old Testament, man. Right. Christ knew the scriptures, and he knew the scriptures better than any of them homosexual Pharisees and Sadducees, and for sure know them better than your Christian pastor and imams. Right. Read on.
Verse 5, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother.
For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother. Read on.
And shall cleave to his wife.
Now you cleave to your wife. Now you leave your father and your mother and you go, you know what I mean, and cleave to your wife. Read on.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
They become one flesh, meaning they become one flesh. You go and have sex with that sister, you become now a family. Read on.
Verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
Now you one flesh. Now you a family. Now you one unit. Read on.
What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
Let not man put asunder. Let not man separate this, man. Don't leave that sister, brother. Brother, don't leave that sister. Read on.
Verse 7. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away.
Now, here's the thing. The Sadducees and Pharisees like, nah, now they like, we got Yahushua now. We finally got this nigga. He said, wait a minute. Why did Mashah say that we could get a bill of divorcement? Now, it was in the law. Moses was writing bills of divorcement, but Christ is about to explain why he did that. Read on.
Verse 8, he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart.
Because of the what?
Hardness of your heart.
Moses, Mashah, because of the hardness of your heart, meaning the hardness of your minds. Let me explain. Moses did this because the hardness of our minds. We was getting ready to kill each other out there in the wilderness. I feel bad for Mashah. I could only imagine him walking and seeing all the families and couples arguing with each other. Well, you know, bitch, you ain't gonna get that water. Yo, Masha, I can't stay with her no more. I can't stay with her no more. You believe she don't want to go down there, you know what I mean, and get the water for us? She like, listen, my Lord, Masha, you know, this nigga, he just lazy. He don't want to do nothing. Please, Moses, because the hardness of our minds, because our minds were so evil and wicked towards one another. And that's in the law too, man. I believe it's Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 51st verse, where it says, you know what I mean, well, our hearts will become hard, you know what I mean, against our wives, man. And sisters' minds will become hard against, you know what I mean, their husbands, man. This happened because of the hardness of our hearts, which is your mind. Your heart just pumps blood. Your real heart is this right here, your mind. Because you're walking around hating that sister for damn near no reason, not wanting, you know what I mean, to work things through. You out there hating that brother, you know, says you hating that man for whatever reason, not thinking, you know what I mean, maybe, you know what I mean, because I laid down with this brother, because I chose him to be my husband. And that's another thing too. I saw the silliest post the other day, and a sister said, and I quote, "I wish we could choose our husbands." I almost fell out my chair. I said, what you mean y'all don't choose your husbands? You do choose. You choose who you have sex with, sister. Brother, you choose who you have sex with. I got to cut that nonsense out, man. Right. I got to cut that garbage out. Moses is saying because of the hardness of your minds. Read on.
Come. Suffered you.
Suffered what?
Suffered you.
Suffered you. It pained Moses to do this because he knew it was wrong. But he did it so we would not kill each other out there in the wilderness, man. It was rough back then. Hell, I keep saying it's rough back then. It's rough now. It is rough now. Look at Sonia Curry and Del Curry. Look at them now. Look at, you know what I mean, families now going through it. And you know who really suffers? Our children. The household suffers, man. This is why I thank the Most High for the ISUPK, because we rebuild Black, Hispanic, and First Nation families in here.
Right.
Read on.
To put away your wives.
Mm-hmm.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
Now, Christ is saying from the beginning, it was not so. It was not like that in the beginning. It wasn't. And how do you know it wasn't like that in the beginning? When Adam and Eve messed up, did Adam leave Eve? Did he leave Eve like that? No, he didn't leave Eve. And they messed up. He didn't leave her. That's not how it was in the beginning. That's what Christ is cutting them on. Now, read on.
Verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife.
Now, Christ is saying this, for whosoever shall put away his wife. Read.
Except it be for fornication.
Except it be for fornication. What is fornication? Unlawful sex. That is fornication. Let me tell you what fornication is, man. Unlawful sex, meaning this. If you a sister, right, and you have a husband, and you go out there and you sleep with another man, that is fornication. And if you a brother, right, and you got a sister, and you put her away for no reason, and go and have sex with another woman, because you know they do that in the Christian church, I buy.
Right.
They do that. They do that, you know what I mean, in your fake Israelite groups. They do that in the IUIC. And you want to know why? Then the sisters call us, you know what I mean, all the time. And they went, well, I would have joined the ISUPK, but you guys say, you know what I mean, that it's all right to have multiple wives. Let me correct something. God said it was all right for us to have multiple wives.
Right.
You go in there masquerading in purple, thinking, oh, this is the most wonderful Christian Israelite establishment to be in. And next thing you know, he puts you away to go get that younger wife, that younger woman. So he puts you away because he can only have the one wife. He's putting you away, and now you calling me crying. But understand this, if you do that, brother, if you put that woman away, if you put your wife away, you know what I mean? And if you put your wife away for, you know, and if it wasn't for fornication, and you go and you sleep with another woman, that's fornication as well. That's adultery.
Right.
You know, because you're not supposed to go out here and have sex with different women and putting them away, man. If you go out there and you rib 3 women, you better take care of all them ribs, man. You better take care of them sisters. I pray you understand. And guess what? It ain't nothing wrong with a brother just having one rib. You got brothers out here that is perfectly fine with having one rib. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But there's also brothers out here that would like to have maybe 2 ribs or 3 ribs. That's fine as well. But you can't put these ribs away for nothing. Brother, the only way you can leave that sister is unless she goes out there and commits adultery. Unless she goes out there and has sex with another man or have sex with another woman, man. I pray you understand. Keep reading.
And shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away, doth commit adultery.
They commit adultery too. Meaning you go out there and you put that woman away, you know what I mean, for nothing, and go ahead and go get another rib, you know what I mean? You commit adultery, man. That's on you. Now, if I could, get me Exodus, I believe it's Exodus 20 and verse 14, then I'm going to go to the next topic.
This is the book of Exodus, 20 and verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Meaning you're not supposed to commit adultery. Sister, if you have sex with a man, that is your husband. If you go out there and you have sex with a different man that's not your husband, you commit an adultery, man. And if you a man, right, let me touch on this too. There's a lot of you brothers out there, especially on that clubhouse. You are a homosexual, man. If you go out there and you have sex with a woman and you know she married, man.
Right.
That's adultery as well. You got a lot of brothers out here looking at other men's wives, man, wanting to have sex with them. That's adultery as well. If you have sex with a woman and she married and you know she married, man, that's adultery. And if you're a woman and you have sex with a man that's not your husband, that's adultery as well. I believe I want Exodus. Give me Exodus 21 in verse 10.
Okay.
Read Exodus 21 and 10 for me, Bubba Bashar.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife.
Now, if you take yourself another wife, now read that again from the top, slow for those out there that may be hard of hearing, that may be in the back.
Okay.
Read it again.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife.
Meaning, if you go out there and you want to have another wife, if you go out there and have sex with another woman, read on.
Her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Now understand this, man. Understand this. If you go out there and you have sex with another sister, man, you go out there and rib another sister, get another wife, meaning her food, her raiment, you shall not diminish. You can't, now read it again from the top.
Okay. If he take him another wife.
If you go out there and get another rib, you're about to get another wife on top of the one or other ones you have, read on.
Her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Shall he not diminish? Meaning, you go out there and get a new rib, you might want to spend more time with the new rib. Nah, you got to spend the same amount of time with your other rib or your other ribs. This new rib may want a little bit more sex. Now your other rib may see that and now she want a little bit more sex. You cannot diminish that. You cannot diminish that duty of marriage, man.
Right.
You can't do it. You got to, listen, brother, I pray you understand. You got to go out there, you know what I mean, and put it down. I pray you understand. Because guess what? There was a time, you know what I mean, back when, you know what I mean, with the Levitical priesthood, the priest would come see you. They be like, listen, brother, you gotta go. You can't go out here and diminish, these other ribs. You better go over there, and take care of your business. You better take care of them other ribs. You better go have sex with your other ribs and spend time with them and not diminish, they food and they raiment, man. You better go out there and take care of your ribs. More importantly, go out there and take care of your families, man.
Right.
Go out there and be, the husband you was meant to be, that the Most High designed you to be for these sisters, man. Don't diminish it because you go and get another one. Don't neglect your other ribs, man. Because once you start to neglect them, you neglecting this one, you neglecting that one because you got that one, and then you're going to do the same thing to this one when you get another one. That's going to lead to you putting them away. No, do not diminish that duty of marriage, man. Take care of your ribs, man. Take care of your ribs. And the scriptures say in Peter, wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands. And husbands, love your wives, man. Paraphrasing also, just as Sarah, called Abraham Lord. Here's the thing, man, too. Like, sisters, you got to be like Sarah. Right. You have to be like Sarah. Captain Ahmad Yashar was breaking this down yesterday. In class. You have to be like Sarah, sister. Calling your Lord, Lord, man, like how Sarah treated Abraham. You got to be that type of wife. I pray you understand. And where do you find those type of marriages? You find them here in the Israelite school, the UPK. I pray you understand. This was the penalty for that back then. I'll give you an example. Leviticus 20:10. I'll read it. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Adultery, man, is a sin worthy of death. I pray you understand. But because of our King Yahweh Shah Mashiach dying to give us another chance to come back to the Most High, understand this, man, the priest ain't going to come put you to death. But you best believe you will be punished for it. Right. Don't think it's not a punishment for laying with that brother's wife. Don't think it's not a punishment, sis, for laying with that man that's not your husband. Right. I pray you understand. Get yourself together, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Come into the ISUPK and learn how to be a husband. Learn how to be a wife. I pray you understand. Now, let's go to the next story. Bob, can you read this for me, Bubba Bashar? This is the big one.
Okay. Nearly 1,000 Afghanistan evacuees have landed in Philly, with hundreds more expected.
Now, nearly 1,000 Afghanistan evacuees have landed in Philly, with hundreds more expected. Guess what? They here. Ishmael is here, right, Bob? They coming in. They coming in, They met them with flowers and roses, right, Bob? Right. Met them with roses and flowers. What's the problem with that? What's the issue with that? I'll tell you what the issue is. What our people don't understand, right? They let 1,000 Afghanistan evacuees here in Philadelphia, meaning we about to get more Crown Fried Chicken, right? We about to get more lamb over rice. They say it's lamb. They say it's lamb and chicken over rice. We don't know what the hell they giving us. Right. But understand this. What is the problem with this picture? Don't you understand that they hate us? I need everybody to understand it. I was talking about mother the other day, and don't get me wrong, she's a hardcore Christian. I ain't ashamed to tell you, a lot of y'all mothers out here is hardcore Christians too. My mother is one of them that wear the crazy feathered hats. I be talking about her, on Friday and Saturday at camp looking crazy as hell. She said something that was heavy to me yesterday, She was telling me, well, Yedaya, it's a shame that they letting all of these Afghanistan refugees over here, while the Mexican man and woman and babies are still in cages. I was like, Mom, that is what we've been saying from the beginning. Right. That's the issue, man. They let 1,000 Saddam Hussein's, give us some Arab names, 1,000 Ishmaels, 1,000 Osama bin Ladens coming over here, man. Right. And you mean to tell me, Israel, that all of them are just the model minorities? Ain't none of these motherfuckers Al Qaeda. Ain't none of them Taliban. You slow and stupid if you don't believe that. But here's the thing: which is so sad. They'll let them in. They'll bring them in over here and place them in the Northeast. They're going to place them all in the Northeast. They're going to place them all in our neighborhoods, and they're going to get grants. They're going to have stores, and they can barely speak English. While God's chosen people, the Mexican man and woman, man, the Guatemalan man and woman, the Honduras man and woman, man, the Central American man and woman of the tribe of Issachar, the tribe of Zebulun, man, Zabalawan, the tribe of Asher, suffer in cages, man. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Letting these heathens up in here. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Issachar suffer. Our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Levi, the Haitians, man, are suffering out there in the Isle of Hispaniola. Suffering right now, man. You know, going through it. Just had a 7.2 earthquake. Got a hurricane rolling through. Our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Manasseh, the Cuban brother and sister. Cuba right now is on the brink of economic collapse. Like, they are going through it. They don't have enough, you know what I mean, vials and COVID vaccines to go around for our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Manasseh. They going through hell right now. But that's what the scriptures say, that we would go through hell. Meanwhile, 1,000 Afghanis, they can come over here and live peacefully. They get their own business. They don't get placed in cages like that.
Right.
They're not going to place them in cages. They're not going to snatch their children away from them. An image that will always burn in my mind when I go to sleep at night is that Mexican brother that was holding his daughter that was drowned in the river trying to cross over here to America, man. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. El Hombre Blanco and Sal Diablo. Now you got nearly 1,000 Afghanistani evacuees landed in Philadelphia. And here's the thing. There's more that's coming.
Right.
There's more that's coming. I'm going to read a little bit more on the story. It says military flights have been leaving the invaded capital at a rate of more than one an hour Monday, helping drive departures that's seen about 116,000 people evacuated in roughly the 2 weeks. And they bringing them over here to Philadelphia. They bringing them here to Philly. And guess what? The so-called Hispanic man and woman, man, the First Nation man and woman, we struggle over here. And here's another thing too. I'm glad it just hit me too, man. They gonna live better than our First Nation brothers and sisters. Our First Nation brothers and sisters of the tribe of Gad, man, and the Seminole Indian of the tribe, you know what I mean, the Reuben, Ra'albon, suffering and living on reservations, man, concentration camps. Meanwhile, you know what I mean, the Afghanistanis, they get to come over here, get greeted with roses and pellets and everything, while they get to be put up in housing, while God's chosen people suffer, man. Give me Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 7.
Okay.
Let me get Jeremiah chapter 50 and start at verse 7. This is what we have to understand, man, about these heathens, man. They hate us. They hate us with everything in their spirits, man. And it's a sad thing. It is a sad thing because you got a lot of our people that don't understand. They have no idea. This is why it's time. That's why the scriptures say in Zephaniah 2:1, it is time for us to gather ourselves together, to gather together, O nation not desired. If this shows you that we not desired, I don't know what's going to show you that. We are the people that's not desired, man. Our brothers and sisters, man, are in cages right now. They didn't get met with roses and pellets I buy. They not about to get set up with businesses. They was met with AR-15s and M16s and took their children and then listed them as undocumented and then told us that they lost it. How the hell do you lose 1,500 babies?
Right.
You ain't lose none of them little terrorists that's coming over here. You ain't lose the sand people riding over there on the magic carpets. You ain't lose them. You made sure they got over here fine. Nah, man. The hell with Ishmael. Right. The hell with the Afghanistanis, man. We only care about God's chosen people. And if this doesn't show you that Hispanic man and woman and that First Nation man and woman is God's chosen people, man, I don't know what to tell you. Because we fit them curses, man. Read Jeremiah 50 and verse 7.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 7. All that found them have devoured them.
All of these nations that found us devoured us. How do they devour us? They about to come in our neighborhoods right now, Ibad. Badi. If you are $1 short, you don't get the lemon rice. You don't get lemon rice. Thank you, come again. They about to be like that. They about to be like that. And look at how the oppressor is getting ready to set them up. They're going to set them up in our neighborhoods, and they're going to make thousands of dollars, just like the Chinese man and woman. Just like the East Indian man and woman. All of these nations that found us, they have devoured us. But we want to be friends with them. We want to be friends with them. They are not our friends. They not our friends. Where the hell was the Arab man and woman and the Chinese man and woman when George Floyd was murdered? When Vanessa Gilliam was murdered? When Philando Castillo was murdered? When Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Philando Castillo, Mike Brown. I can go on and on and on. Where the hell are they? Where are they? That's right. The Chinese is in our neighborhoods beating the hell out of all of our sisters, man. In their nail salons and in them laundry mats, man. That's what they do. Chinese man in Detroit shot a 6-year-old black boy, man. Shot him for no reason. These Arabs have always hate our people, man. They come in our neighborhoods, man. You know what I mean? And set up shop, man. Posing as Puerto Rican, posing as the tribe of Ephraim. I had an Ishmaelite tell me a couple months ago, well, you know, Pop. I'm like, yo, you not my brother. Don't do that. You not Ephraim. You not Simeon. You an Ishmaelite. You an Arab. You not my people. And guess what? They having sex with our sisters in them stores, man. Taking advantage of our people, man. Taking advantage of our sisters, man. Them Ishmaelites are disgusting bastards, man. The scriptures say that Ishmael is a wild man, man. That he is against every man and every man is against him, man. They strap bombs to women and babies, man. Goes to show you. They devour us, man. All they that found them have devoured them. How did they do it? Now you want to be in Islam. You want to take on the religion, you know what I mean, of the Ishmaelites, saying, Salaam alaikum. Salam alaikum, brother. Salami eggs and cheese, salami eggs and bacon, my brother. I'm not Willie no more. I'm Abdul Rahim Suleiman Khalid Ahmed the Magnificent, and I don't eat no pork. Nigga, you Willie Bobo. Looking stupid as hell, man. Following after the oppressor. Following after the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, who hate our people, man. Don't you know how Islam was spread? Islam was spread with the sword, man. Meaning if you didn't choose Allah, which is the figment of the imagination of all them sand Arabs. Allah is an imagination, man, of the Arabs, man. A comic book is the Quran, man. It was spread with the sword, man. And big shout out, man, to all of our brothers and sisters that died, man, that did not serve Allah. That's why our people look at, we got a real problem here in Philadelphia. We want to be like the Ishmaelites. We want to be like the Arabs. We want to serve their God, man. And I'm going to go into that in a minute. You want to serve Allah. You want to serve Buddha. You want to serve the gods of these many different nations. When we have one God, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation, man and woman, his name is Yahweh, Shema, Yahshua, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Meaning our God is one God, black man, First Nation man, Hispanic man and woman. I pray you understand. All of these different nations that found us, devoured us. They don't give a damn about us. Read on.
And their adversary said, we offend not.
Wait a minute. Hold up. And their adversaries say this. We offend not. We offend not. What do you mean, Yediah? We don't offend in what we do. The Arabs ain't sorry, you know what I mean, for how many of our brothers and sisters that they slaughtered by the sword, man, to get them to convert, you know what I mean, to that nonsense ass Islam. They offend not. Why? Why is the Chinese saying we offend not by beating the hell out of our women in their nail salons and for shooting our brother, man? Why do the Arabs say that? And here's another thing too, man, that I almost forgot, but you need to understand. The Arabs are the ones that built the slave ships, man.
Right.
The transatlantic slave trade was a well put together system. It was well orchestrated. Them filthy, stinking, giraffe water bathing, rhinoceros residue Africans rounded us up, and them camel breath Arabs are the ones that built the slave ships and sold us to the oppressor. And they say, we offend not. Slow down, nigga. We offend not. Why? Read on it.
Because they have sinned against the Lord.
They did what?
Because they have sinned against the Lord.
Because we sinned against our Lord. We sinned against our God, man. But by us sinning against our God, this is why these things happen to us, man. Because we sinned, now the Arab is over us. Now the Chinese is over us. The Hawaiian, the Samoan, the Polynesians, the Africans. Now these different heathens are over us, man. Because we sinned against the Lord, man. And the Apocrypha, that Moabite king was letting them know that if we were serving our God, leave us alone. That they ain't going to win. But they also said that if we weren't serving our God, we can devour these people. And we've been devoured by them because we're following after them and we're not following after our God, man. Our God gave us law, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
The habitation of justice.
The habitation of justice. Yahweh is the habitation of justice, man. The only real justice that we're going to get is from our God, is when he sends down a black man by the name of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, the greatest man that ever walked this earth. You know him as Jesus Christ. When he comes down and lays waste to these heathens, man. It's a damn shame that these Arabs are going to come over here and live better than us, man.
Right.
While our First Nation brothers and sisters struggle on the reservation. While our Hispanic brothers and sisters struggle, at the border in cages, man. In cages. Read on.
Even the Lord, the hope of their fathers.
The hope of their fathers, man. Meaning God is our father. He ain't everybody's father. So I bring this out every time at camp. If you have children, a lot of us do. If you have kids, if you tell your child, don't go around the corner and play with them knuckleheads around there, and they do it, you gonna punish your child. We being punished by our God by following after the Arabs, following after Allah and these heathens, man. When they don't give a damn about us, man. The Arabs conspired with the oppressor along with the Moabites. If you don't believe me, I can show you that. Give me Psalms 83.
Right.
Give me Psalms 83. What you don't understand is, man, is that this is biblical. This is biblical right here. This is prophecy. But we have to come to the understanding is that they're not our people. They're gonna say, well, I'm your brother. Brother, you not my brother, man. Them Arabs love to say, well, we're brothers, Ishmael and Isaac. Here's the thing with that. No, the hell we are not. Right. The Lord said, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Right. And after him, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we were chosen by God, not them. And Ishmael got this smug, listen, some brothers say that, like, don't get me wrong, my hatred for the oppressor is number one. But did I tell you, Ishmael is close, because Ishmael feels as though he's entitled. He feels as though that he has this pride and arrogance about him, man, and I cannot stand it, because God did not choose you. God chose us. Right. God did not choose them, man. And they conspired with these other nations, and I'm going to show you that in the Bible. Read what you got.
This is the book of Psalms, 83. Sorry, 5, sir. 1.
You can start at verse 1.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms, 83 and verse 1. Keep now thou silence, O God.
This is David praying to the Lord, man. Why is David praying to the Lord? Read on.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. Verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult, meaning our enemies came together. They made an agreement. Our enemies made an agreement with each other. What agreement did they make? Let's read.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee. Here's another thing too. People love to say, well, God loves everybody. All races of people, Yediah, you're wrong. You're a wicked man. When these other nations hate our God, man.
Right.
And how do they show that they hate our God? Because they hate us. And we're God's chosen people. And David said, and they that hate thee, meaning our enemies hate the Most High. Ishmael hates God, man.
Right.
Esau hates God. Moab hates God. Read on.
Have lifted up the head. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel
They taking crafty counsel. They came together, man. Read on.
against thy people.
Against thy people. They came together against us. Who is thy people? Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women. Read on.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
We're the hidden ones of the Most High. Read on.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They said, let us cut them off from being a nation, man. They cut us off from being a nation. Now, how do we know what our nationality is? Now, you sitting up here calling yourself African American. You calling yourself Puerto Rican. You calling yourself, you know what I mean, so-called Native American, Indian, Mexican, First Nation. You calling yourself Guatemalan when they call us niggas, spicks, and savages when we're the Israelites of antiquity.
Right.
Black man, First Nation man, Hispanic man, and woman, we're God's chosen people. If you black, you are the tribe of Judah. If you black in the West Indian Islands, you are the tribe of Benjamin. If you black, you know what I mean, the Isle of Hispaniola in Haiti, you are the tribe of Levi. And if you're on the other side of Hispaniola, of the tribe of Simeon, man, the so-called Dominicans, if you Mexican, you Issachar. If you Puerto Rican, you not rich port. You're not rich port, Porter riches. You're of the tribe of Ephraim, Manasseh for the Cubans, man. Understand this. If you from Brazil, you know what I mean, Bolivia, you have the tribe of Asher, you know, Argentina to Chile, Naphtali. Understand this. And so-called First Nation, tribe of Gad, Seminole Indian, Reuben, tribe of Reuben. That's our identity. That's our nationality. Princes of the power, that is our real nationality.
Right.
They came together to take that away, to cut us off from being a nation. Read on.
That the name of Israel.
At the name of Israel, we don't know that we Israel now. We don't know that we're Yasha Allah, princes of the power. We call ourselves everything but. Read on.
May be no more in remembrance.
We don't even remember our identity. We don't even remember our culture because you too busy wanting to love the Arabs, man. Well, they don't give a damn about us.
Right.
You sitting here trying to have peace and unity with the Arab being a second-class citizen under Allah, the figment of the imagination of the Arabs, while our so-called Hispanic brothers and sisters and First Nation brothers and sisters suffer, man. Don't be a traitor to your people. Don't be a traitor to your God, black man, Hispanic man, and woman, man. Come out of Islam. Read on.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee. Who?
Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom. Edom. Who are the Edomites? The Edomites today are the so-called Caucasian race, the white man and woman, the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Adam in the Hebrew, Esau, he is wasted away, or he is wasted away is he. Read on. The oppressor came together with who else?
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites. And the Arabs, man. The so-called Afghan refugees. They're the Ishmaelites, man. They hate us. They're about to come and set up shop in our neighborhoods, man. More Crown fried chicken. More Kennedy fried chicken. More lamb and rice. More chicken over rice, man. They came together, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Read.
Of Moab.
Of Moab. The Chinese man and woman. They're the Moabites. They came together and they kill us, man. How do you know that they kill us? As a matter of fact, I'm glad I was reminded of that. Give me Zechariah 11:5 up for sure. They come in our neighborhoods and devour us. They destroy us. They kill us out there in the streets. And who holds them accountable for that? Who holds them accountable? Do they hold themselves accountable? How many of them stood up for us? Did the Arabs stand up for George Floyd? Hell no. Do the Arabs stand up? The Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, or any of them other Ishmaelite countries, do they stand up for our Hispanic brothers and sisters being locked up in cages? Hell no. Do they stand up for our First Nation brothers and sisters being locked in reservations, concentration camps? No. They don't give a damn.
Right.
Read what you got.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
Whose possessors slay them, man? These heathens slay us. They kill us out there in the streets. Read on.
And hold themselves not guilty.
They hold themselves not guilty. They hold themselves not guilty. But guess what? There is going to come a time. Let me get Jeremiah 30 and verse 16 over for sure.
Okay.
There is going to come a time where that is going to change, black man, First Nation man, Hispanic man and woman. That's going to change. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 30 and start at verse 16. Bubba Krishan.
Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
All they that devour thee shall be devoured. Meaning there's going to come a time that all of these nations, all of these heathen that devoured us, they're going to get devoured.
Right.
There's going to come a time where this is going to happen to them. Read on.
And all thy adversaries, every one of them.
On all thy adversaries, because we have enemies. We have adversaries. Read on.
Right. Shall go into captivity.
Shall what?
Shall go into captivity.
Shall go into captivity. There's going to come a time, right, where all of our adversaries, all of our enemies are going to go into captivity. I got dreams, brother. I have dreams of the kingdom. I'm going to have special games for each and every heathen.
Right.
For the Ishmaelites, I'm going to have special games. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to make a giant circle. I'm going to have Esau dig like an entire circle, like a moat, like in a circle. And there's going to be like alligators and spikes and all type of stuff. You know what I mean? In the like in the moat and everything. And I'm going. And it's going to be kind of small. You know what I mean? I got it in my head. I got to figure it out, Israel. Bear with me. And I'm going to have all the Ishmaelites. I'm going to be like, whoever is the last one standing, right? They're going to be riding their camels, racing in a circle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And those that fall off, they got to go in the moat. They got to go in the moat. Now, with them spikes and them gators and them snakes I buy, they got to go in. Right. It's going to be a game I'm going to have. I'll tell you, I got dreams too. It's going to be the Heathen Olympics. My Heathen Olympics is going to be rough. I'm trying to tell you. They're going to be, them Ishmaelites going to be riding around in a circle with them camels, and the last one standing, guess what? He gets his freedom from my plantation. See what I did there? My plantation. He going to be free from me. But in the fine print is whoever wins, they're free from my plantation. Now they got to go play in Haya's plantation. I pray you understand. There's going to come a time where all of these heathen are going into captivity. Right. Because we're in captivity right now. We're second-class citizens under the oppressor, under the Arabs, man, under the Asians, under the Africans, under the Samoans, and the, you know what I mean, and the Polynesians and all these different heathens, the Filipinos, man. There's going to come a time where every one of them shall go into captivity. Read on.
Come. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil.
And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. Listen, I cannot wait. I take shades off of this one. I cannot wait to go out into like in one of y'all stores, right? You know what I mean? They're gonna be arguing with you. You know what I mean? Let's say that they're gonna be pleading. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a day where you know Shara gonna have her own, you know what I mean, boutique. You know what I mean? That spreads like thousands of miles, and them Ishmaelite women gonna be like, well, please, my lord, please, sis, I'm $1 short. And I'm like, well, sis, I wouldn't do that. She $1 short. That heathen $1 short. We can't do it. Right. It's gonna come a time they're gonna be begging I buy. They be like, please let me get. You know, I'm 50 cents short, my lord. Please. I'm like, no, I buy it. I wouldn't do it. They 50 cents short. Remember when we was 50 cents short? They wasn't trying to hear that. I cannot wait to do that. And I'm gonna argue with you the same way I argue with Ishmael. Listen, you got don't do as I do. I love a good argument, Israel. Don't do what I do. The same way I used to argue with Ishmael in them stores, you know what I mean? Ishmael tried to rip me off one time, tried to charge me, you know what I mean? You know, tried to shortchange me on the chicken. I ordered 4 wings and fries. There was 3 wings in there. I'm like, hold up, Ishmael. There's 3 wings in there. He's like, no, buddy. I'm like, no, nigga, you listen, Ishmael. Let's go the same way I would argue and fight with them about that. I cannot wait when you are a spoil.
Right.
You're going to be a spoil. Read on.
And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
And all that prey upon thee shall be, I will give for a prey. Meaning they going to be a prey. Meaning we're going to prey on them. I pray you understand. It's going to be rough. So listen, since y'all laughing, I'm serious. I'm going to be like, listen, you 50 cents short, you $1 short. It's a compromise. I got you. If I give it to you, you're going to have to work some extra hours.
Right.
They're going to be praying for the Sabbath day. They're going to be like, man, Saturday can't come no sooner. The diet is rough. Because guess what? The Lord said that you guys are going there. These heathen are going to be a prey for us. I pray you understand. Now let me get to some of these questions. I got 2 questions that I want to go into for the last 20 minutes that I got from Clubhouse these past 2 days. I got this brother. This is brother on Clubhouse named Money. And he be arguing with his brother. He a good brother. He be talking crazy like I mean, we working on it. Officer of ours, officer in the car, we working on the brother. But I wanted to take this time, right, to explain why smoking weed is wrong. Because he was like, well, your diet, what's so wrong with smoking weed? It comes from the earth. I know a lot of y'all got that question. You wonder why, what is really wrong with smoking weed? Why can't I do it? I had a brother tell me, well, you see, brother, the science in the mountain, you got 7 leaves. It came from the earth. Nah, brother. Smoking weed is a sin according to God. And let me you know what I want, bro? Let me get Proverbs first. I believe it's Proverbs 16:27. Because here's the thing, too, what our brothers and sisters don't understand. What you do not understand. And there's a lot of our people out there that say it's all right to do it. And it's not. And the sad thing is, and the thing that prompted, he was like, well, I'm not an addict. I'm like, well, brother, but money. I'm like, can you stop? He's like, I can stop today or tomorrow. It don't matter. And if they say they can stop tomorrow, that lets you know that they're an addict. That lets you know that they are hooked. I have a friend in the world, my man, my homie. Like, he's so messed up on that weed that it's affecting his bladder. His bladder is messed up, man. And he's the same age as me. He only 28. I'm forgetting how old I am. You know, we don't celebrate birthdays in there. Right. I mean, to be 28 years old, right? And to have a bladder issue because you can't stop smoking weed is a damn shame, man. And smoking weed is a sin according to God, man. You're defiling your temple. Don't you understand that we are the temple of the living God, that the Most High made us in His image? Don't you understand you're not supposed to? And the sad thing is, as far as I was trying to explain to the brother, you don't even understand like the damage that smoke does to your body. Like putting smoke in your body, he said, well, it's cleansing my body, brother. No, it's not. It's not. You are destroying your body. You are destroying your lungs. And I'm going to explain it right now. Read what you got.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, and verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Now, what does it mean an ungodly man diggeth up evil? Before we go there, I asked the brother, and I asked a couple of the sisters in the room that I was in. I said, okay. I said, y'all smoke weed, but will y'all smoke crack? They like, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't smoke crack. I can't do that. But but weed comes from a plant. And I was like, damn. So y'all must not know. Crack comes from cocaine, and cocaine comes from a plant too. So does heroin. So when you say it comes from the earth, so does crack. So does cocaine. So does heroin. All of these drugs come from the earth. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Now you're digging up evil. Now you're digging up that plant. And don't get me wrong, these herbs have their uses. And the sad thing is, our people don't understand, right? When they say, that every herb has its use. Guess what? They do. You just using marijuana the wrong way. You're not supposed to be smoking it and getting high. Now, if you get prescribed marijuana, that's different. But I guarantee you're not going to be smoking it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to talk to your doctor about that. The sad thing is you just want to go and dig it up. You want to change its chemical compound by rolling it up in that backwood. A lot of y'all smoking Reggie anyway. Sad thing is, you're not supposed to be smoking none of that, period. Smoking that Reggie, smoking fire. Oh, I'm going a little too far ahead, you're putting it to your mouth, and once you light it, you're changing the chemical compound of it. Now it's changing. Now you're digging up evil. You're taking that plant, you're digging it up, and what are you getting ready to do with it? Read on.
And in his lips there is as a burning fire.
Now in your lips is as a burning fire. Now you got that fire to your lips, and you smoking, and you passing it around to everybody in that circle, in that cipher. Let me tell you something, and that is the gayest thing in the world too, man. A lot of y'all don't think there's nothing wrong with it, man. It's time to wake up and realize that it's time to cut that garbage out. Ungodly man diggeth up evil. a wicked man. You got to be wicked as hell, man, to dig up, you know what I mean, that plant from the earth. Now you're getting that tree, you're getting that backwood, that's slang that they use now. You get that tree and you start to smoke it. Now you got in your lips as a burning fire. You're not supposed to smoke weed, brother and sister. I pray you understand. And here's the thing, too. What a lot of our people don't understand. Don't you understand that smoking weed became popular by the oppressor? Right. Like during the 1960s, right? Like the free love movement, you know, during the time of like the war in Vietnam, everybody was getting high. They was out there smoking grass, smoking Reggie, smoking tree, smoking weed. Guess what? That was mainly the oppressor doing that. And then our people started to catch on. Our people started to catch on. And guess what? To show you how detrimental it is, man, you lose your memory, messes with your bladder. It messed the soldiers up in Vietnam so bad that that's why they lost, because they were so high and messed up. But nowadays they make it seem like, oh, I can't function without it. Let me explain something to you. If you cannot go through your everyday life without, you know what I mean, that plant, if you feel as though you cannot function without smoking, you are an addict, and it is a damn shame. It became your God, and you don't even realize it, man. Right. An ungodly man diggeth up evil and put it in his mouth as a burning fire, man. You're not supposed to be smoking. And guess what? I got one more for you, too. Let me get Ezekiel 8:17. And the sad thing is, too, right, like what our people don't understand is that they make it so popular. And now they're monetizing it. Now, you know what I mean? It's popular now, and not just that. How can I forget this, God? How many of our people are in jail for marijuana charges or crack cocaine charges or cocaine, you know what I mean, or other different type of drug charges? Now they're making these drugs legal, and our people still suffering behind bars and prison, man. Goes to show you, man, you're not supposed to be smoking nothing. You're not supposed to be doing drugs, period. Right. It's an abomination to the Most High. I advise everybody, right, to watch the crack documentary on Netflix. It took me a minute to like get through it because it was so painful, but it's good, you know what I mean, to go through and watch it and remember what these heathen have done to us. Are you aware from 1988, right? From 1988 to 1995, there were 2/3 of Californians, right, that were crack cocaine users were white. 2/3 of cocaine and crack cocaine users were oppressors, but none of them went to prison from 1988 to 1985. And from 88 to 95, you had different laws. You had the 3 strikes rule with Joe Biden and Bill Clinton. You had, you know what I mean, the crack, you had the crack cocaine felony law that they put out that if you were caught with it, you got an automatic 10-year sentence or something like that. Not one oppressor went to jail for that because they want us to be junkies. They want us to be on crack cocaine. They want us to be smoking weed. They want us to be on heroin. Where do you think these drugs come from? Do we own boats? Do we own planes? No. These drugs come in via the oppressor. They go and bring these drugs in and flood it in our communities, man. They want us to be junkies. And let me show you that in the scriptures. Let me get Ezekiel 8 and verse 17.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8 and verse 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man?
Now the Lord is telling Ezekiel, yo, have you seen this, thou son of man? You see what they doing? You see what Israel is doing right now? Read.
Is it a light thing to the house of Judah?
Is it a light thing to the house of Judah? He's talking to Judah right now. He's talking to us, black man and woman. Is this a light thing to the house of Judah? Read on.
That they commit the abominations which they commit here?
That they commit the abominations which they commit here? The Lord is like, yo, Ezekiel, you see these abominations? Is this a light thing? Do you see what they doing, son of man? Do you see the abominations that my people of the tribe of Judah, the black man and woman, read on.
For they have filled the land with violence.
They filled the land with what?
Violence.
You filling the land with violence right now. You filling the land with violence. How do you fill the land with violence? How many of y'all fight after you get done smoking, man? You get real Biggie at a line, man. That weed make me want to kill more people. It do. You getting high off these drugs, man, and it's messing with your mind. You be ready to kill your brother and your sister, man. Let a brother run off with the L in the cipher, man. You gonna kill that brother, man. Now you filling the land with violence. Fighting over what? A plant? You fighting over weed? You fighting over these drugs? And that ain't a new thing. That went on back then during the time of Ezekiel. It goes to show you that there's no new thing under the sun. The same way you fighting and arguing over them backwoods and over that eighth, now they was doing the same thing back then. Read on.
And have returned to provoke me to anger.
We provoke the Most High to anger by doing these things, man. We provoke our God to anger. Our God is upset and furious with us, man, because we want to be junkies, that we want to be violent with each other, man, doing what the heathen do. Read on.
And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
And lo, they put the branch to their nose. What is that? That's this right here. This is the branch right here. This is that backwood. They was doing that back then. There ain't no new thing under the sun. The Lord is saying that that's an abomination, man. Stop smoking weed, brothers and sisters, man. Stop doing drugs, period. You defiling your temple. The Lord, told us to be separate, man, to separate, and learn not the way of the heathen. What we have to understand is we have our God's laws, statutes, and commandments that we have to get back to. And we have better options. The brother was trying to tell me, well, this was my option to be a drug dealer and to smoke weed and do this. Why is that your only option?
Right.
Why did that even become an option?
Right.
Because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Right. Let me give you a better option. If you're a black man or a First Nation man, Hispanic man and woman, it's the ISUPK. That's right. The better option for our people. The only option that we have as God's chosen people, man. Right. We better than that. We better, than what the heathens, proclaim us to be and the image that they put out there for our people, man. Understand this. Now, if I could, to segue into the second one, for the last 10 minutes, I was rapping with a sister on there and she was telling me what's wrong with all forms of spirituality. And when I asked the sister to expound on it, she says that she's a priestess, that she likes to, she's a witch, an enchantress, she says. And I almost start busting out laughing, trying to say, well, I believe in astrology. I believe in rocks. I burn my sage. And I'm just like, Lord, help us. Help us, Lord. Because here's the thing. That is wrong, black man, Hispanic man, and woman. Right. I'm going to show you that in the scripture. First, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 10.
Come.
Deuteronomy 18 and verse 10. And then I want you to hold Jeremiah 10 and 1. No, not Jeremiah 10 and 1. Hold Psalms 96 and verse 5. And then we're going to finish with Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 10. There shall not be found among you.
Now, this is what we're not supposed to find among us. Read on.
Anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
Pass through the fire. Now, the segue, back into the other question too. The brother was saying, well, I became a drug dealer because, my OGs, they put me on. That's you putting your son or daughter through the fire. By you sending them, down the same path of wickedness that you on down to. It's the same thing with, with passing on Christianity and Islam to your kids or becoming this. Read on.
Or that uses divination, or an observer of time, or an enchanter, or a witch.
Or an enchanter, or a witch, or a divination, or an observer of times. The best example to use, Jeremiah Yak went over this multiple times, and I'm going over it again because it keeps coming up. I advise everybody to look at the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg. That is the best example to show you a sister, that's in that garbage, that got the crystal ball, looking like Miss Cleo, being an enchantress, being a witch, an observer of time. Read on.
Verse 11. Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Or a consulter with familiar spirits. And they smoke weed too. They smoke weed as well. They burn sage, smoke weed. You dealing with the familiar spirits. You being an observer of time, an enchanter and a charmer, not realizing, man, that you just a hustler. That's all you are. Read on.
Or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Your modern day wizards are your drug dealers, man. You out there making that crack cocaine, you a wizard or a necromancer, those that, you know what I mean, that deal with the dead and try to, you know what I mean, that deal, you know what I mean, with trying to resurrect somebody.
Right.
The Lord hates them, man, because they trying to game Israel, because they trying to hustle our people. You're not supposed to be an enchantress, a charmer, or a witch, you know what I mean, or someone that's will have a familiar spirit, man. And that's what happened, you know what I mean, with Saul. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go too far into it because the general already did. Saul, you know what I mean, who was the king of Israel at the time, he saw the familiar spirit, you know what I mean, with Sam, so he could speak to Samuel. And what horrified the woman, man, because she was gaming up Saul. And when she was like, oh man, when that angel of the Lord was messing with her and came to her and showed her, you know what I mean, Samuel, you know what I mean? She's like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that I was going to be all right because you're not supposed to suffer a witch to live. We're not supposed to suffer these enchantress and these observer of times and these charmers to live, man.
Right.
We ain't supposed to do that. So she was afraid for her life. But Saul said it's all right. Then the angel of the Lord said, all right. The Lord told the angel, go down there and mess with her. Go down there and make it seem like she can see Samuel, man. You know what I mean? And have that angel communicate with her and let her know what the punishment is going to be for Saul. And it's the same thing in that movie Ghost, man. In the movie Ghost, you know, Whoopi was losing her mind when she started hearing the devil talk to her, man.
Right.
Because she ain't never had that happen before. And when the sister that asked me this question, man, let me explain something to you. Spirits ain't talking to you. You just got to stop getting high. You got to stop getting high. You out there burning sage, saying, oh, man, I'm a priestess. I'm a prophetess. You know, I deal with spirits. I get high and the spirits talk to me. You know what I mean? I feel as though asking me what day I was born. I'm trying to explain to the sister that don't matter what day I was born. The day I was born does not dictate my personality and how I act. That is the dumbest shit in the world. Salakia for the language. And I got to tell a story. And I got to tell a story. Years ago, man, you know, even before I came to the truth, that stuff was kind of, sister told me, you know what I mean? Well, you know, brother, you know what I mean? Well, you know, you got to look up, you know, your astrological sign, you know what I mean, to understand how your day is going to go. I said, so I have to go and look something up and tell me how my day was going to go. And I went and did it. And the first thing that came up, it says, brother, you're going to breathe today. I started dying. I was like, so I was supposed to die today. I wasn't supposed to. No, if I didn't come and look at this, I wasn't going to breathe. I was breathing before I looked at the message. Then I realized that nonsense is garbage. And too many of our people, man, believe in this nonsense for you want to be spiritual. You want to be spiritual, brother? You want to be spiritual, sister? You got to come into the ISUPK. Right. You got to come into the Israelite School of UPK. You got to get out of astrology. Before you go to Deuteronomy, give me Jeremiah 10 and verse 1, Bubba, for sure. Because they talk about, you know what I mean, your zodiac sign dictates this, the sun, moon, and rising. They're like, oh, you just give off different energy and vibes. That stuff is garbage. It's garbage according to God, man. And you gaming people up. Gaming people up, man, for what? And the Lord hates that. God hates that, man. And Saul was punished for that, man. He lost the kingdom. He lost the kingdom because he disobeyed, you know what I mean, the orders of the Most High by not killing that Amalek king, man. Right. But he lost his life. That was the final straw, man. The Lord took him, man, for that. Going to that sister with that familiar spirit, man. And for all you sisters out there that got the head wraps on, looking like Erykah Badu, you know what I mean, burning sage and smoking weed, thinking, you know what I mean, that you deal with spirits, understand this. All that is heathen custom too. That comes from the gypsies. That comes from, you know what I mean, the oppressors, women and Amalek and Africans, man. You ain't supposed to be no charmer, no enchantress, no witch, or no charlatan, man. Let me get Jeremiah 10 and verse 1.
Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah, 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, Learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Meaning, don't do what the heathen do. Don't be out there talking about, well, I was born on September this. That means my personality dictates that. I'm going to have to marry a woman that was born, on this month because she's an earth sign like me, or that's a fire sign and I'm a fire sign and we're compatible. That is straight up garbage, man.
Right.
Whatever happened to talking to a sister?
Right.
Getting to know a sister. Like, brother, sister, what happened to talking to that brother and getting to know him, man? Just because you was born on a certain day and time does not dictate who the hell you're going to be.
Right.
That's garbage, man. Being a Pisces, Virgo, and Leo and all that garbage, man. Read on.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Out there looking up at the sun, moon, and stars. Trying to say, well, I'm an Aries rising and a Libra, lower. And that is nonsense according to God, man. Read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
For the heathens are dismayed at them, man. Let the heathens be confused and confounded by those ways, man. And not just all those different types of forms of spirituality. All of that boils down to, idol worship and idolatry.
Right.
That's what all boils down to. And let me explain one more thing. Don't matter if you are a spiritualist, a Buddhist, Christian, a Muslim, read Psalms 96 and verse 5, and then I'm going to close with Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Oh God, this book of Psalms 96 and verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
All the gods of the nations are idols, meaning all of these different gods are idols. They're the figment of the imaginations of the heathen. Caesar Borgia, Allah, Buddha, Set, Ra, any of them different gods, guess what? They're all idols. All of them. Now read Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
We were scattered among all people because we disobeyed our God, man. We disobeyed our power. Read on.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other.
We were scattered from one end on the earth and even unto the other, meaning we've been scattered all over. Read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
Now we serving other gods. Now you serving Allah. Now you serving Buddha. Now you serving white Jesus, Caesar Borgia. Now you want to be a spiritualist. Now you want to be, Now you want to deal with familiar spirits. Now you want to be a witch or an enchantress serving different gods and voodoo and Santeria, man. Read on.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Our fathers ain't known them gods. We haven't known them gods, and neither have our fathers, man. We have one God, and his name is Yahweh, man. Read on.
Even wood and stone.
Even wood and stone, man. Wood and stone. Understand this, man. We are God's chosen people.
Right.
And we have to come back to what the Lord said to do. I want to close, the show with just one scripture, man. I want to encourage all of our people, man, to understand this. If I cannot buy, let me get 1 Peter 2 and 9. We have to understand that it's time to put, the customs of these heathen behind us. Don't be a homosexual. Don't go off into your own understanding and try to be a witch or an enchantress or some type of spiritualist or a Muslim or a Christian or that garbage, man. You have to understand this. Read.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
We are that chosen generation, meaning God chose us. We're that generation that has to come, man. That has to stand up for the Most High, to build Christ's kingdom. Read on.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. No matter what you have been told, right? This royal priesthood is only here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Them brothers masquerading that purple, they're not priests. Those of them wearing that red and white, they're not priests. Those of them that are walking around in strip clubs and different clubs, asking the bottle girls and working girls, you single, you're not a priest. The royal priesthood have always been in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohanan. If it ain't under Commanding General Yohanan, you are not a priest, you're pretending.
Right.
You're pretending, you're masquerading. When I was a child, I used to put on a fire cap and pretend to be a fireman. Did that make me a real fireman? No. And if you want to be a real priest, a part of this royal priesthood, I suggest you come into the ISUPK. But just know, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. Like being a fireman ain't for everybody. Like being, an accountant ain't for everybody. Being a priest ain't for every brother neither. That's for the brothers that's truly one West. A royal priesthood, read on.
And holy nation.
And holy nation. Holy meaning separate. Holy ain't your grandma with the crazy feathered hat on looking silly. Your pastor or your imam with a white gown on. That's not holy. Holy means to be separate, set apart. We are a separate people. Read on.
A peculiar people.
A peculiar people, meaning a special people, man. Peculiar meaning special. There's no one more special than blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women, man. Read on.
That ye should shew forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Show forth the praises of him that have called you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. The marvelous light meaning the truth, man. Right. You've been called out of the darkness of this world, man. You've been called out of the world to come into his marvelous light, meaning coming into the truth, coming into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. If you're a young brother out there aspiring to be a trooper, keep coming to class. If you're a young trooper aspiring to be an officer, keep studying, keep coming. If you're a sister aspiring to get her name, man, to be a righteous woman, keep coming to class, man, and stay in the ISUPK, and don't put your sword down. Don't be a homosexual. Don't fall weak and put your sword down. Now is the time to stand firm, to stand fast in this truth. And with that being said, I'm priest and officer of 1000 Yediah. This is my priest. This is my brother, priest and officer Abad Hayah. Make sure you pay your tithes, man. You're giving Pastor Ruffin, you're giving TD Snakes, you're giving Creflo Dollar all the goddamn money, and they hate our people and robbing us blind. Pay your tithes, man, to the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. Tune in to Black Watch every Monday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Commander General Yohana. Subscribe to Black Watch News. Subscribe, man, and tune in to Let a Hebrew Speak every Monday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. with 12 Show General Hazayan. Tune in next Wednesday, man. General Mayaka Allah, 12 Show General Mayaka, be back next Wednesday. Send your questions in. Ask you the prophets every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tune in Across the Line Radio with Captain Tazariak, Captain Katazar, One West Radio. You know what I mean? With Captain Gadalho out there in California. And with that, shalom.
Jay-Z, you know the chop. Ayazahab. Badness no sir. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Copy bad fly when the Glock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay, boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that big straight. Shot misplaced, the key them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face, the key never tell us we lock this place. Which locksmith, anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate, hey. We don't play around, when you see the UPK around. We bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around, when you see the UPK around. We bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds. We no take drape up, we no take bait up, we no stay up. And when the next day come, we no change up. Man, I ask them brothers, them wake up. Take care, boss boy, head top shake up. So tell a pussy hold down, violate us. No care where you status, where you take up. Every man a killer till miss a dead face, you straight up. Great stuff, one West link bigger than NATO. Man we box it to NATO. Only man we afraid that are the creator, the maker. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around, AR-15 and AR rounds. AR-15s and AR rounds. AR-15s and let me tell you how the badness steer. Copy bad fly when the Glock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot gasket stay, boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that lick straight. Shot misplaced, the teeth them in your head stop misbehaved. Catch his face, the key never tell us so we lock this place. Which locksmith, anyway watch this space. War red them bunny like plastic plate. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds.